So this is pretty uncommon. They make a facelift of a car and it suddenly become better than their highest track-focused version. My friends, this is the McLaren 750S.
And that air brake immediately goes up. Such a fun car. And actually in this here, as McLaren always do, we have the name as the horsepower, which means we have 750 horsepower and just 800 Newton meters of torque, which is not a lot in relation to the horsepower, and in regards it's also a twin turbo V8 engine, which sounds pretty good for that is a turbo engine. I mean, you will hear it now. The pops and bangs like whips. Those downshifts, man. You can hear it. Amazing. And also the front axle feels very good. And you can really place it into those corners because you have so much visibility. It's not like a Lamborghini where you don't see shit, but here you can really see the road. It's like a mix of Ferrari and Porsche, I would say. But it drives really good. Although it has so much power. The air brake is always so cool. Look how good it handles, because we also have this beautiful steering wheel which is very handy. It's very light and thin. This thing moves, especially on the boost. I mean, through the gear selector you can already have it always in boost, but it's very aggressive to drive because you see it. Like whips, those downshifts are amazing. And it's so loud because this is a Spider version, as I mentioned, so that means we have this little window which we can roll down and have that V8 screaming in your head from behind, which is so cool. And I think actually the Spider doesn't look worse than the Coupe because it's a hardtop. Although it's rear-wheel drive, I think it has a lot of traction. I mean, it also puts that power down. Not particularly like a Turbo S, but in a more nervous, in a more aggressive, in a more sketchy way. And I like this, I have to say it.
I know this sounds ridiculous, but apparently everybody is saying that. But from the first few driving meters, I think this could be true. But I will now show you the exterior and interior of this amazing spec'd 750S Spider.
So of course we have this beautiful orange color. It's called papaya orange, and you can see this insane metallic effect. It is indeed something special. So on the front you will instantly recognize those painted headlights, because those look amazing. You can have those in gloss black and in carbon fiber, which is also really cool. And down here we have a carbon fiber lip. We have those usual vents that you know from the 720S, but now we have something new, those little air ducts. It makes the whole car more racier, more sportier. It looks really cool in my opinion. Over here on the side we have 19-inch wheels with orange brake calipers. This wheel design is, I think, new because it looks not McLaren-ish. It has like those waves in it. It looks really cool, I have to say. Also, black gloss rims on this spec is the best option, I think. Then we have black gloss mirror caps, which, I mean, look at that angle, how wide they are from the A-pillar. Here you also can see where the air is flowing like this into that cooler. Very cool. And now we have the doorstep, which is pretty easier, because prior to that it was just a little touch bar, and now you here we have something physical, which I think is really cool. Down here we have this side fender where we also have GT3 RS style air venting from the front wheel arch, and back here we have the 20-inch rims, a little bit bigger, and also the orange brake calipers. Very cool. And up here is probably the best thing. This spoiler. It is actually huge, because look at my hand. I can fit almost 4 hands of mine, so this is very, very big. And when you brake, this thing flips up and acts like an air brake. So you have your little Bugatti Veyron Chiron over here. Very cool. And here we have 765 LT inspired exhaust pipes, because the 765 has just 4 and those are 2 and is a little bit smaller, but it looks very cool. Also McLaren I like, because you can see the whole transmission, everything. Not sure if it's too dark, but down there you can see everything. That's amazing. And we have this huge carbon fiber diffuser rear part.
So, and now I will take you the interior, because the interior, it's not that big, but it's, I think, pretty cool. And they have some new options, which I recently saw the first time.
So as I said, we can just press this down here and open the door. We have everything here covered in Alcantara. We have some leather over here. We have some carbon fiber. And in the interior, we have a carbon fiber steering wheel. And here you can see everything is covered in carbon fiber. Why is that so? Because this car has a monocoque. So that means the whole chassis around the driver is made out of carbon fiber. And when we step in, we have this amazing new dash, which actually moves as you move the steering wheel, because those 2 buttons you will need while driving, because here is your manual button, your drive mode selector, and here is your traction control. So this makes sense that the whole thing moves when you move the steering wheel. In the middle we still have a decent sized screen, which is pretty cool. We have the area button. This, I think, lowers the car, launch control. And down here we have the drive selector buttons, and down here we actually have the button for the small window and the button for the roof to open. I think in this frame you can also see how much carbon fiber there actually is. And also the A-pillar is in carbon fiber. This is stunning. Everything other than that in leather or Alcantara, so build quality is pretty decent. And also the steering wheel feels very good. It's very thin. It's actually really thin. And this one over here clicks very good, and you can downshift and upshift with both pedals separately. So if you press it, usually you downshift, and if you press it in the opposite way, you upshift, which is very cool. McLaren is the only car brand that has that. Also the qualities become much better. I mean, you can't tear that carbon fiber off like in the 720S, so very good build quality now. And between your legs you have something. There's a pocket. You can see it barely, but here is a pocket, and you can just put your phone and whatever you want down here, your keys, so you don't have it in your pocket. This is very cool, and McLaren is also the only car brand that has this, which doesn't make sense.
And now you see this little window up here. You can actually toggle that down with that switch. And let's say you have the roof open, it's raining, you're on the Autobahn, or it's just not that warm. You can toggle that down and have that emotions coming through that little window. And let me tell you, this is amazing. So hardtop supercars that have this feature. For the seats, we actually have regular seats, but they're very comfy and they're also a little buckety. So it's suiting for sport driving, maybe not on track, but it's still enough for Swiss roads. And yeah, just have a little bit fun, but still have comfort. So this is also a very good option in my opinion. I know everybody was waiting for that. I will now do a sound check. And let me tell you, while driving, this thing sounds incredible. The downshifts, it sounds like a whip. It's phenomenal. V8 twin turbo usually doesn't sound that great, but this thing is guys, do I have to explain anything? I think you felt it, you saw it. This car is complete insanity. I mean, in terms of performance, it drives really good. The steering, the braking, the power output. It's so much fun to drive. Even though you don't have a naturally aspirated engine screaming in your ear, you have V8 twin turbo, which those downshifts and upshifts sometimes like whips, the bangs, it's so much emotions, burbles, everything. It's also quite loud. Thanks to the Spider version, as I mentioned a few times now, you can roll down the rear window and have that engine really in your head, which is very cool. And yeah, so is it worth it, the money? I would say so, because in Switzerland we're starting for a Spider for 340k, which is, I think, pretty fair for what you get. And yeah, coming back now to the question, is it a better 765 LT? In terms of value for money, I would say it's a pretty good deal. But yeah, it's not a collection car. You can buy it immediately, don't have to wait for anything, don't have a list. You can just walk into the dealership and just grab it. So, is it an investment? No, but nowadays investment cars, it's hard to find. I would also say a 765 LT is not an investment car. So, to really have fun, have a cool experience, I would say this is the better option. Let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, check out Interrent Cars. You can actually rent this exact one when you're here in Switzerland and drive it also the Satellite Pass as I did, or go to the Furka or the Susten Pass. So very cool. So check them out. They're tagged in the description. They have Ferraris, Porsches, Lamborghinis, McLaren. They have everything. So very cool rental company. Check them out, and yeah, see you next time.